thank you. We just praise you. We glorify your name, Father. We thank you, Father, for who you are. We thank you, God, for what you're doing. We thank you for what you're about to do, oh God. Father, this evening as we come together to learn of you, to sit at your feet and to learn of you, we just acknowledge you as our Father. We acknowledge you as the ultimate truth. And we yearn for your presence. We ask for your presence, oh God. We yearn for your presence. May your presence be evident among us tonight, oh
Yes,
God.
yes.
We welcome heaven. We welcome the angels, oh God, that you have assigned to us and to this meeting tonight. We welcome the angels, oh God. And Father God, may everything, oh God, that we learn and we hear tonight, oh God, be a praise and glory to your
Yes,
name.
yes.
Father, I just pray even for those who are on their way, oh God. We pray, oh God, that you will even hasten their footsteps, oh God, that they will come, oh God. Father, whatever hindrance, oh God, anything, oh God, that is hindering them, anyone right now, oh God, who is saying, should I go, should I not? I'm tired, whatever. Father, I just pray that you will bring clarity in the name of Jesus.
Yes.
Because, Father, there are many who need to be healed tonight, oh God, based on what they're going through and what you are teaching them and what you're doing in their lives.
Amen.
They need to be healed.
Yes.
And so, Father, I just pray right now that you, oh God, will visit, bring clarity, oh God, hasten their footsteps, oh God. Now, usher them in, I pray in the name of Jesus. Father, we just thank you and we bless you, oh God.
Yes.
We welcome heaven, the overshadowing of your Holy Spirit. We pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And Father, right now, I just pray that may this Tuesday teaching, Lord God, may you launch the school that you're showing me right now.
Amen.
Yes,
Lord.
Yes.
Lord, the school that you ordained before the foundation.
Yes.
The school, God, the Father, that we will draw from the library in heaven.
Amen. Amen.
The school, God, that will cause us, oh God Almighty, to receive the ancient path wherein the fathers have set.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
To know your heart, to be instructed.
Yes.
And so, Lord, we are asking, oh God, for divine acceleration.
Amen.
May everything, oh God, that needs to align here on earth, Father, we call it for into divine alignment in the name of Jesus.
Yes.
We say, Father, Lord God, may by your spirit, by your mighty hand, may you launch the school of the Spirit of God in the name of Jesus. For you said, we shall know the truth and the truth shall set us free. And so, Lord, we are asking, oh God, that you will launch. The Father, many will come from far and near. And Father, to hear the truth, to hear truth, my God, to walk in truth, my God, to apply that truth with God, and that truth will liberate them, oh God, in the name of Jesus. Lord, you said, oh God, in the last days shall be famine of the word. Oh Lord God, those that are inquiring of you, Lord God, you want to instruct, you want to reveal. Lord God, your mind, oh God Almighty.
Yes.
And so, Father, you know, oh God, how much we yearn, oh God, to hear from you every second, every minute. For a word from you, oh God Almighty, is life to us. A word from you, oh God Almighty, Lord, is what sustains us, oh God. And so, Lord, we are asking, oh God, the Father, that you will launch by your Spirit the school. The school of the Spirit.
Amen.
The school of life.
Amen.
The school of the prophetic. Lord, the school of God Almighty.
Yes. Yes, God.
That will put tools in the hands of God of people. Husbands and fathers and mothers, oh God, to know how to lead, how to direct, how to instruct. I thank you, Lord, and I bless you.
Yes.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 Now I want to as we pray right now, this goes like showing the school. You know, the school.
Like a school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they will just set it like a school. You were showing the school. You know, and I saw the school really being launched in a more distinct way. You know, and so he was really kind of showing me about the school. And then as well, if you want this chair, you can move that to the end. That's fine. No.
Nobody wants to be on
Everybody
TV.
just runs away.
No, they can still see.
Okay. Like, come and sit here. If you come and sit here, you
Turn
know,
it.
see. I don't know why everybody's running away from the, you know, anyway. You know, but the Lord was, you know, but just watch this. You know, if God is thinking about launching a school,
Yes.
right? That there will be, you know, truth, because the Bible says that you shall know truth and the truth shall set you free. You know, when I began in deliverance, you know, and beginning deliverance, you know, looking back, you know, what it did for me was really, it really, you know, brought the awareness of the sin of the Spirit, you know, and also the awareness of what God really has called me to do. But then over the years, I began to looking back, I realized that many came and they were being delivered, and our focus was just casting out the devil, people manifesting, throwing up, and all the different things when we started in 1988, 89. And so that is all that we're looking for. And so in the next one, oh, the person is free. Oh man, you're free. Now you're free. And stuff like that. We never knew that freedom is responsibility.
Yes.
I am free so I can be responsible for what God has given me stewardship over. I am free so I can be responsible for my destiny, for my purpose, for my home, and all of that. And so we didn't connect the two. So people were kind of being free, you know, and yes, they didn't know what to do.
Yes. And oftentimes they go back to the same habits and the doors, and they open doors again.
Exactly.
So,
you know, and so over the years, I began to understand that, you know what, it was, so it made me change the way they approach. And the approach is that I began to paint a picture of the mind of God for that person. And I said, this is all that God has in store for you. Now the question is, do you want it? Oh yeah, I want it. Because it resonates with me. So if it resonates, I want it. And if I want it, okay, but this is where I am. What do I need to do to get there? And so if the person now, what do I need to get there? Their focus is not on the obstacles and what the devil has done and all the hindrances and stuff. Their focus is the end. Bible says Jesus, for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross and despised the shame thereof. Everything that if the devil wants to gain access into our lives, he comes in to change the picture of what we're seeing. Why do people commit suicide? Picture of hopelessness. There's no hope.
That's right. That's right.
They thought if I made more money, I'll be okay. They made the money. They thought, oh, you know what? If I get a big contract, I'm going to be okay. They get it, nothing. Oh, they thought probably if I marry the most prettiest woman or the most handsome guy, I'll be okay. And they do that, and it's still not, you know, enough. Oh, they thought I just saw this couple with a cute baby, and I think if I have a child, it's going to be okay. And then they have that, and then it's still not. And so all of a sudden, we keep seeking and searching and seeking and searching. Then it's like giving into habits, drugs, different things, and all of that to numb the pain, to do all of that. And then it comes to the point where the devil leads them to the place where he says to them that at the brink of the abyss, why did you jump? You tried everything else, nothing works. So what's the point? Why did you end it all? But you know that many have died, you understand? Have committed suicide, physically. But there are so many more spiritual suicide. We think suicide is only physical. I am not concerned about the physical suicide. I'm concerned more about the spiritual suicide. Because anytime, you know, Michelle and I, we go to, you know, we go to the cemetery, we call it, you know, where our baby is buried. Anytime we go there, either I go there, we go there together as a family, I look at so many lives. I look at it because where she's buried is the garden for the babies, you know. And I remember we were just about 4 or 5 babies. And now it keeps expanding. And anytime I go there, I pray, I ask God for justice.
Yes.
Not just my baby, but for all these ones
Yes.
that never lived.
Yes.
All these ones that never fulfilled.
Right.
All these families, all these ones that never discovered their purpose. So I don't go there to mourn. No, I go there to remind myself that whatever I'm doing, the beauty of it is that my baby is out there, or whatever I'm doing, whatever we're doing, she's been rewarded as well.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Because in my life, there are so many times that God gives me glimpses with her. And those times with her, all I hear was what she said to me when she was only a baby the week before she passed. And the things that she said to me. Because you see, we are not this body. This body is
That's
a
right.
container.
Right. That's right.
And the things that she said to me. The gist of it was, she saw what the father had and was saying, Daddy, everything's going to be fine. You're going to do great. There's so much that the father has for you to fulfill. And she's excited about that.
Yeah.
You know, and every time that God has given me the opportunity to have a connection, you know, with her, you know, I see her growing. I see her always just growing. You know, the crowd in the stands that are cheering you on and just saying, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. As well. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews that we are surrounded by the great cloud of witnesses around the race that is set before us. I mean, as well. You know, and it's yeah. Let me, I don't know, but I know I went that route, but God wants me to share some things on the route. Now, the thing is this, we're talking about spiritual things, right? And many times, Bible says we have been blessed with every spiritual blessing.
That's right.
In heavenly place in Christ Jesus. Now, the key is in Christ.
Right.
You understand? Now, the occultic person out there, or the witch, or the warlock, or the obia, or whoever is out there that is tapping into the things of the spirit, they are not in Christ.
Right.
But he said we have been blessed. So the only one that opens us up to the spiritual blessing is Christ. In him. So his spirit opens us up to access the things of the spirit. I mean, as well, because it says, but they are foolishness unto the carnal mind.
Right.
Now, last 2 Sundays ago, not this Sunday, the following Sunday, I left church, and when I left church, you know, I went to church alone. So I left church, and I felt so strong in my heart just to go, because my baby, you know, she's just right across from the church. You know, when you're on 70. You know, when you go past auction, auto auction.
Oh, yeah.
It's right there. Exactly, right hand side. I mean, as well. So from time to time, once in a while, I just kind of, just go there, spend some time. And so I left church, and I didn't have that in mind, but I left church and I said, so strong to go. Now, the point is this: when you lose a loved one, or let's say a baby, for instance, now, the memory is key. You don't have memory to grieve. But it's like, for instance, their birthday, we celebrate their birthday. She's still a part of a conversation in the home. Siblings know that, they have a sister or a brother who passed on, and so her memory still lives on. So wherever I go and they ask me how many children do you have, it's not because she's left, so no more my child, she still is. And so, because she's still a part, because she still lives in your heart. And everything that you were doing, everything that you're doing, because I'm saying something to teach something here. Because many times we always kind of realize that we deal with things more in the physical, when we see the physical, and we lose sight of the spiritual. And so we're not able to access so much that is available to us. Why? Because we don't know. because we don't know. Truth always sets you free. So 2 Sundays ago, I left and then I went. I thought you were following, you were going home and you were behind me and you saw me go straight. Yeah, and I went. And whilst I was there, I just went there and I sat on her desktop and I said, God, I need justice for all these ones that never lived. The pain and the hurt. I saw families who come and grieve and others. And sometimes, many times when I'm there and other family members come, I end up ministering to them. That God will reveal something to me about the baby. I remember the one time I was there, and then this couple, came, and the infant, child probably was a month or 2 old and passed. As well. And so I was standing there, and then they came and they said hi, and then so everybody didn't want to kind of give people their privacy, and so they were standing there, and then all of that, and then but then they had another child. I don't know if the child was born after or what, but they had another child as well. And so I was looking at them, I looked at them, and then all of a sudden, then I went. So the lady said, the mom said, "Oh, hi" to me, and I said, "Oh, hi." The father was a little bit, kind of more reserved. And then, so then I went to them afterwards, and I said, "Hi," and I said, "Well, my baby is, they said, oh," and I said, and then I turned to them and I said to them, "You didn't lose your baby. The child physically might have gone, but his destiny has been passed on to this one." And then I said, that child was supposed to do something with music. And their eyes opened, and then they said to me that this one is being drawn to music. The little one has been drawn to music and like to play musical instruments and different things like that. So physically, that child might not be here.
Right.
And then the sibling now has been drawn to things in music and doesn't realize that it was really a transfer of what was upon the sibling. So I saw them and I told them, and then they're like, "Oh, wow, okay, thank you." And I do that quite often, as well, because they want to be there physically, and we always see things more physical. So when we lose somebody physically, we lose this physically, something, and the Bible says spiritual things are more important, they're more real than the physical things.
Yeah.
So the fact that, I might grieve, and the grieving that I'm grieving is because I miss the person, and because I miss that, I miss the child, and so I kind of grieve that I'm missing the baby. But at the end of the day, can you check the AC and bring that a little bit? Yeah, hot in here.
Wendy, you got that. Okay. We got Wendy.
You sure it's going to be okay for you?
I'm not sure. We got Wendy. I hope he's quiet. You prefer this one? I think so too. Okay. Go through the door, excuse me, ladies. Okay. Gotta go to the corner here. Okay.
So it's very easy to go out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason why we turned it this way, so when people come, they can have access, easy access. And it's nice, right? Because I did a wedding here yesterday. Yeah. I did a wedding here yesterday. It was actually a blessing. They went to Just of Peace to get married, and then they came here, and then I did so we changed the whole setting just to accommodate that. As well. So.
Jermaine, I want to apologize for him. He's tired.
Oh, okay.
Jermaine?
So every day with God, you're always learning, right?
Right.
And so I ended up going there that Sunday, and then I just sat down and was just talking to God. You know, and sometimes I get angry, and the anger is more like holy frustration.
Yeah.
And the devil cannot be winning just like that. It's like the devil cannot just be winning. And so that, you know, really sometimes you've got to go through something to activate something in you that God wants to use. Because that holy frustration is not for me to do anything, but it's for God to use that to do far more. Because Jesus was moved with compassion. And what was the compassion? It wasn't, oh, I'm feeling sorry for her. No, the compassion is this. I look at where she is now, and I look at where God wants her to be. And I'm seeing how she would want to be where God wants her to be, but it's like either a mindset or something is keeping her there. And so compassion is just, I don't want to put myself in her shoes. And whatever it takes to get her from where she is to where God wants her to be, I'm going to do it. Compassion is not just feel sorry for the person and not do nothing about, oh, I'm so sorry for you, sorry for your loss, but there's nothing I can do. Bible says Jesus was moved with compassion and he did something about the situation. So compassion always makes you do something about the situation. You know, and so whilst, you know, I was just, you know, thinking, and one thing that really struck me was this. I had a vision, and as I set out to leave, it became more profound to me. Now, I saw a vision of a gallery, right? And the gallery that I saw there were different designs and stuff that was on, you know, designs in the gallery. And I saw a little girl, like my baby, because if she was still around, she's going to be like 7 years old now, right? 7, you know, with other children. Come and see. And taking them to the gallery and was showing them different things on the wall. And as I kept looking, I began to realize that the moments that as a father, I fought for her. Every moment that I did what the father would do, it became, because as a father, I'm not supposed to represent myself. I'm supposed to represent him, the father. You understand?
Yes.
Jesus said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. The Father is the ultimate father of all. He is the epitome of fatherhood and motherhood. Everything comes from him. And so now, I'm just so honored that he has called me into an office which he occupies and is expecting me to trust him, right? To express his nature through me to the children that he's given to me. And so every moment that I did anything as a father that revealed him, his attitude, his character, his nature, his love, it became like a memorial in.
Yes, I need that. He showed it to me.
Every time that I did that. And so now the point is, every time that I did that, it's like, you know, when you know, I fought with the doctors, and when I worried about her and all of that, all the way through to the end. And I remember the day when she passed in my arms, you know, and I had the father say, release and let her come. And I said, no, Lord, there was a struggle between the two fathers, but obviously he won. So, you know, but then, you know, at the end of the day, after all of that, you know, the nurse came and they gave us the body. So we had the body for about 6 hours, you know, and then Michelle, you know, was twisting her hair and, you know, doing different things and all of that. But God made her, if you look at her, you think she's sleeping. Yeah. You couldn't tell. She was still warm. She was still, it's like God allowed us to have that time. And when we had all the time, now they came and then they came with this wagon. You know, those little wagons that you push your baby in and stuff like that. So they, and I said, what is a wagon for? They're like, oh, that's what you transport it. I said, no. I said, I began a job. I got to finish it. I said, I know she's not in this body, but this body is what reminds me of her, where I laid her. When I go there, there's a memory, there's a piece of her, there's a body that was given to her to use, and the body was buried there. And so I'm not going to allow anybody to drag in a wagon. I said, no. I said, I'm going to carry her as far as you guys would let me. And then I said, that's fine. So I carried her all the way to, you know, the entrance of the elevator, right? And then he said, I can't go further because the elevator was not public. It's just for, you know, I didn't even see. And so, and then she just said to me, she says, but I promise I'm going to carry her all the way. I'm not going to put her in a wagon. I'm going to continue to carry her all the way as well. It's like anytime that, and when she passed, you know, during her homegoing celebration, the father said we shouldn't mourn, we should rejoice. So we all were white. And if you look at the funeral, you think it's a big person, an older person. Most of the doctors came, the nurses came, they all came in and they spoke. I have it on video. And the testimony that came forth out of the mouth of the doctors, some couldn't finish their eulogy. They broke down and cried, and then they got up. Some came and they said, this little girl that never spoke a word taught me how to go about my practice. Some said, you know, through her, I've learned not to look at people as diagnoses, but as human beings. I mean, this child that never ever opened her mouth and spoke, touched so many. And every time, according to the textbook that they had, that they look at the textbook and look at the genetic, whatever it is that, and that's not what actually took her, you know, home. What took her was their own negligence, because she kept going to the hospital, she developed this infection, and you know, they didn't give her back. God already told us that she's coming. But not the condition that they diagnosed her with. But then the point I'm making here is this, that the doctors, they looked at their textbook and they say, a case like that, according to their statistics and all of that, they die at the age of 3 months in the womb. They don't go past 3 months. She went 9 months and she was born. Everything that they said, according to their own research and finding and statistics, she beat all those odds. I mean, as well. Now, if you watch this, but then still, they still put that baby in that same category of a condition that they will not even waste their time on. They will just abort a baby. And then they saw a family that loved the baby. And they fought all the way. So we won in the end. And they recognized that the baby was not that body, but was a person living on the inside. One time we went and then they just said, the only thing that's keeping this baby alive, you can ask her, is because of your love. You guys are the reason why the baby is here. I said, you got that right. I mean, as well. So now, but then the point is, I began to realize this, that every time that I represented the Father by fighting for her, by standing against the lies of the enemy, by praying for her, by everything that I was doing was like a memorial that was being built. Because it's like the Father loves you and I, that He fought for us. He sent His Son to die for us and to go through, go through every length just to save you and I. Anytime we do that, we are representing Him. You are manifesting His nature, His character. So watch this. When it comes to our children, these are just pieces of clay that God has given to us to mold, to shape, to protect, to guard as well. So when it comes to our children, it is the Father. When it comes to spouse, it is Jesus, like Jesus. So the father is really the epitome of motherhood and fatherhood. Jesus is the epitome of the husbands. The husbands love your wife like Christ loved the church and give himself for her. And he said the church should also submit to, And so if you look at it, I'm saying something, I'm getting somewhere with this. If you look at that, in my marriage, the times when I understood it, the times that I loved her or I behaved like Christ would behave towards her is like a medal. Yes. It's like a memory, a memoria that has been built. Like Christ, like Christ, like Christ. The moment, she would, honor me and submit, it's just like Christ. Because remember this, Jesus, remember what he said? He said, he who was equal with God did not consider it robbery, but then he laid down his glory. He came down on earth, took on the form of man, became submissive even unto death, even death on the cross. So he came to the lowest of all low, wherefore God has highly exalted him. God says, if you humble yourself, I will exalt you. But if you exalt yourself, I will reject you. And so watch it. So now a wife humbles, right? Like Christ, humbles. And then a husband, loves like Christ, love. When you love, you clothe. When you love, you adorn. When you love, you fight for. When you love, you honor. When you love, you're patient. And so anytime we are behaving like that, and people can see, feel, and experience God's nature, God's character, it becomes like a memorial. So what I saw was this. When I saw that, it's like she was so excited, and she was taking babies, because remember, the babies, she was in the garden. When you go there, there's a children's garden. That's where she's buried. And so the babies that were even just, died in the womb, some were just a month old, some were even a week old, some were whatever, and all of that. And so then what happened is that, babies that never had any memory, never experienced any memory, because probably the parents couldn't deal with it. There's no memory. There's no memorial built for them. So it's like she takes them to her gallery and testifies to kind of get them excited as well. I didn't have to get to heaven for God to give me kudos and say, thanks, God, great job. But here on earth, I began to understand fatherhood in a whole new way. What happened? It's just because I left church and I felt like, go there. And I just went there. And I was just praying. I said, God Almighty, all these lives, all these babies, all these things, Lord God Almighty, I need justice, oh God, for these ones. God said, no, I guess I do better. Let me show you. And it was a big relief. Wow. So now, look at, oh Lord Jesus, look at the memory. There were other children that in memory, there's no memory. There's no memorial. Why? Because there was nothing of the Father that was revealed unto them or did for them. Because if some were aborted, it was murder. If some were rejected, it's like the Father doesn't reject. It's the enemy that rejects. Now, this afternoon, I was ministering to this woman of God. And a few weeks ago, I gave her an assignment. She is in a transition in ministry. She's in her 60s. She's in transition in his ministry. They've been through a whole lot. And God has put something on her heart, a vision to give birth to. Right? And so she set everything up, launched everything. God was just rebranding the vision again. She launched it. And when she launched it, she started facing some opposition. And there was no help, there was no support from family and friends alike. So she got discouraged. Watch this. She got discouraged. So she called me. And then I said to her that, I said, what have you learned over the years based on the experiences in ministry? You guys built a church. You guys did this. And so much happened. That was gone. This happened and that happened. So now that's why you're rebranding again. Now, what have you learned through those years? And she was quiet. She was listening to me. I said, why do you want to repeat the same thing that you've been doing? I said, if you are going to do the same thing, it's not going to do the same thing and put a different spin on it.
Right.
And so now the people that have gone that journey with you over the years, been there, done that, what is new? We might have a different name, we might have a different this, we might have a different that, but what is new? And now they who she needed support from, they were doing something that was really hindering even what she's been called to do. And so when I was talking to her, and then I said to her clearly, I said, if I was you, I'm not going to embark upon that vision until I connect with the giver of the vision. There's something that you're missing. You tried this thing, it worked for a while, this didn't happen. You tried that one, it worked for a while, that didn't happen. You tried this one, it worked for a while, that didn't happen. You tried that, and now you're going to go try another thing. And then before this will take off, you start getting all these. This way, just take a step back. Go back to the one who called you. Go back to the one who gave that vision to you, and you need an encounter with him. So I told her some things to do. So she started doing it. First week, I never heard from her. Second week, I never heard from her. Third week, just today I got a text from her. She had an encounter just last night. And the encounter was so real that she actually woke up and had to put herself together. And she sent me a text. She sent me an email, a text, and said, I don't know what to do with it. And then I responded back with a long response. And then afterwards, I said to her that I'm just so excited about this. And then she's like, really? I said, yes. I said, I'll call you at 4 o'clock. So I called her at 4. When I called her, I said, let's go back to that encounter again. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this piece. Look at that. I said, everything in God is progressive. You got to know that. Everything with God is progressive. Always got to know that. Don't ever lose that. Don't think anything that God tells you, whatever and stuff like that, is just for you to kind of get it and run. No. Everything with God is progressive. From glory to glory to glory to glory. We start as a baby, you grow as an adult. Everything progresses with God. Visions, revelations, everything progresses with God. Many times we get it and then we run with it. And you miscarry the whole process as well. Now, Jesus, the Father, what is in Jesus? Is in Jesus to come and to take her by the hand and to reconcile her back to the Father. No one coming to the Father but by me. Right? The Father sent me to fetch you. The Father sent me, and that which would hinder you from connecting, I took care of it. I am the way, I am truth, I am life. Now, go to your Father now. Daddy wants you. So now that you are saved, He's put your hand into the hands of Abba to begin a journey.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
That is salvation.
Yes.
A journey with God.
Yes.
How many have never been on that journey? But instead they are born again. It's a journey with the Father. He has so much He wants to reveal. He has so much He wants to do. He has so much to show you, for you to know who you are, why you are here, what you're here for. All He has in store for you, for Him to heal you from your past and all of that. And so watch this. This afternoon, I was ministering to this woman of God. I took the vision that she had, the encounter that she had, and I broke it up. She's like, oh my God, wow. I didn't know. And so when I took it all apart, I said, now see. I said, if somebody had this encounter, they'll wake up the very next day and start running and pursuing the vision. Right. I said, but look at what he said. Remember this? Remember that? Look at this. Look. Oh, I didn't know. And I said, now it's an invitation. Now, one of the things is that I said that blew her out. In the vision, she was pregnant. And she was, I'm just sharing a little bit about it. She was pregnant. Literally, it felt like, she said it wasn't a dream. It feels so real. She's in her 60s. You know, it feels so real that literally she was pregnant. And then it got to a point, but watch this. It got to a point where she was preparing to go deliver, and so much was happening, and other things and stuff like that. And I said to a friend, I said to her, I said, why didn't you see? I said, why do you think God didn't come to you in a dream, or God didn't come to you and just whisper to you and just say, you know, daughter, I've called you, now is the time, go pursue, or send somebody with a prophetic word to come and tell you and confirm something to you? But why did He come to you in a dream or in a vision, a revelation form where you are pregnant? So you can think about pregnancy and start relating that to Him. I said, are you a surrogate? Oh, you were a wife. And she's like, oh, I've been a surrogate. He wants you to be a wife.
Yes.
I said, if who's your daddy's baby? Your baby daddy.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know him?
Wow.
She broke down and started crying.
Wow.
She was screaming. She was crying. And she was screaming. And watch this. And I said to her, you are that ministry. What He has called you to do is your life. The people that get drawn to your ministry, they are symbolic of your life.
Wow.
Everything that you have been through is what He's called you to. But you are bankrupt because that ministry has to be revealed in you before through you. He wants to birth that in you, but you keep giving people hope when you struggle. You keep pulling people out of their past when you still struggle with your past. You still pulling people out of this when you are still. How do you feel when you haven't eaten? So it's an invitation that He's calling you. And whilst I was ministering to her, and I said, He's calling you into a deeper place in Him. Now begin to do this, begin to do that. And as I was telling her that, and God took me to a vision of her life, to the very core, the foundation, the beginning, as a child. She was abused, she was molested, she went through all of that. And then when God took me into, like, I was going into like a tunnel and into this room. And when I saw in this room, I saw this board. And when I saw the board, the picture that was on the board was all messy. That's a woman of God. The picture that was on the board is like when a child scribbles, it can't make sense out of it.
Yeah.
That's her past. That's a baby. And that image is still there. And God wanted to turn that image into something beautiful.
Yes.
Many are quick to run and to rush when they don't finish. My thing is that when God launches you and you're doing ministry, right? But don't lose the personal. Many lose that personal journey, that personal relationship. And they affirm and they validate themselves, their sonship, through the miracles that happen and the deliverance that happen and what God did and whatever. No. Stay within the boundaries of your sonship with your Father. Stay there. Never lose that. Your marriage will succeed if you stay there and you grow from there. Your ministry, your calling, whatever will succeed if you stay there. If you stay within those boundaries, don't ever leave that. When you leave that, that is when you can wither well, and when you stand before Jesus and say, I do not know you. If Jesus, watch this. Oh, this is not in my notes. I don't know why. Watch this. Jesus, right? Jesus, the Father sent Jesus to come for her. Okay? So Jesus came and died for her, did everything. So everything that would deny her access to the Father, he took care of it. And he died. And he rose. And he says, now, when you give your life to me, you have access to the Father. So now when Jesus came, he came to his very own. He came. He knew us. Right. Now watch this. Why would somebody be born again? Right? Why would somebody be born again, Olivia? And go do so much for God and stand before Jesus, and Jesus says, I don't know you. When he knew her, when he came to die for her. Bible says that we died together with Christ. He said, Father, not only those who are with me, but those that are yet to come, protect them. So he knew us. He knew you were going to come in and all of that. But then now you stand before him, he said, I don't know you. Why would he say, I knew you to save you? When you got born again, you felt his presence. You felt whatever, all of that. Now you stand before him and says, who are you? I don't know you.
Yeah. He didn't keep that relationship.
Let me say something. When I'm teaching, I'm still learning. That's the beauty of it. You just show me some revelations and stuff. Because PJ, the only time that PJ has legitimacy is when the father says, that is my son. When the father says, this is mine. And I give him my name. He's my son. Now Jesus paved the way for you to connect with the Father. But you never did. The Father sent his Spirit to indwell you so you can cry, Abba, Father. So the Father, his Spirit in you, authenticates like a seed that this is mine. But you never responded to that, to walk in that. So everything that you did in ministry, everything that you did it, no, you didn't do it because you were a son. You didn't do it from the standpoint of, he says, no, I've paid the way. Go to your father. Look at Paul. Paul, who killed and was murdered and persecuted and all of that. Bible says for 3 years he went to Arabia, and it pleased the Father to reveal his Son in him. It pleased the Father. And so now when Paul came out, he says, I thank God who called me from my mother's womb. I've had an encounter with my Father. Now I know what my purpose is. And so now the Father, if I don't, you have mothers who have children, right? You have mothers who have children. If, watch this, why is it that if right now I have a child, I'm a single father, right? I have a child. Do you know that nobody will ask me where is the mother, or what? They will assume that the mother is there. You got that? But when they see you alone with that child every time, they'll ask, where is the father?
That's right. Yeah.
Or who is the father? Or where is the father? Because a father affirms, a father confers, a father. And so yesterday I had a wedding here, right? I didn't do it like the way they were used to. And who cares? I don't care. Because I've been dealing with so many problems.
That's right.
That take the root back to the home. And so why would I do what everybody else is doing and expect a different results? I changed the way I do weddings. I changed the way I do whatever. So before I said to the couple, I said, I'm going to send you information. Send this to your father. Send this to your father and your mother. And I want them to read it. They are going to bless you first before I bless you.
Yes.
If their father is no more, that is fine. But they are going to bless you first before I bless you. Because I'm standing in his stead to confer his blessing upon you. But I can't ignore the office of the ones that he called to stand, who have been there from the beginning all the way to, I don't care what they did, they didn't do. I said, sometimes parents might have some pain and hurt in their hearts. And they can go through the motions, and then, oh, you're married and you're gone. Why is it that the young are committing suicide? Why is it so many things are happening? Because the blessing of the fathers. Fathers are in nursing homes. When they, I can't wait for them to die so I can get an inheritance. Their life insurance, they're killing for that. They do all of that because fathers or parents, including mothers, they're not releasing blessing. There's a disconnect in there. And so I said to them, so, and then they're not used to kneeling. If you watch, they're not used to, so when the pillow was there, I said they're going to kneel. They didn't know that the pillow was there for them to kneel because, they're born in this, they're the millennials or the whatever. I said, you see the pillow there? Go on your knees. Daddy, come and stand on my stairs. And mom, bless your son first. So I stood on the side. As the parents that are speaking, they all went all the way back to the beginning when they were babies growing up. At that moment, everything that probably they felt, either disappointed, everything left at that moment. At that moment, they began to really live, oh my God, that little boy. Now look at him today, not a man. And then son, and then they lay his son, I bless you. May this happen to you. May this, may that, may that. And then they turn to the mom. You have anything to say? And the mom comes. And mom says, remember this, remember that. Bless you. But we are always going to be here for you. You're not alone. And then I call the parents of the bride. The father went all the way back as a baby. And when she said, Daddy, I want to go to America at about 2 or 3 years old, or 4 years, I wanted to go to America, and all of that. And back then, all of a sudden, and now to see, he said, I feel like my future is in America. And they all coming here. And now seeing her come to this level, it was like a pride and joy. And then the father said, but remember the promise you made to me. Don't forget that. I bless you. I know you're going to do great. I know everything. And when they finished, when the father finished, and they said, Mom, I need you. And the mother went when she was in the womb. She said, in the womb, I bled. They said, either I would die or you would die. They wanted to do operation. But I said, no. I prayed. I prayed. And when you were born, I was still bleeding. I was going to lose my life. But I prayed. That baby that I fought for is now a wife. She's crying, Mom is crying. Remember what Isaac said? He said, go kill again, prepare my favorite meal. My soul is satisfied. I will bless you. So when they were looking, their soul started reliving the moment. And out of that, they said, but I know you're going to be great. I know you're going to be this. I know my labor was never in vain. Hey, God. And so then after the parents are blessed, I said, now, based on your parents and your parents, and in connection with him who owns, we come in agreement to release this blessing upon you. And watch this. When I said you guys went to the court, because I said, no, I'm not going to come to the courthouse. I'll leave you here. Go do yours and come here. I said, because I'm not going to just say, do you take her for better, for worse, in sickness, in health, in da 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 da. That one, go on Google. You can Google it and repeat it. So, yeah. And then do you also take him? Do you do that? Okay, case, you come. Meaningless.
That's right. Right.
That's right.
Because we don't stick to it. So the longer conversion that I led each of them to was their devotion to God, not to each other. I said, I pledge before my friend, before my family, I pledge to love you, to look to you as my source, as my strength. It's you that have given me this woman. It's you that have given me this man. And so, Lord, I ask, help me to do your will on this journey. And when they all spoke to him, then afterwards, I said, good, now you're going to talk to each other. And say this 3 sentences. I pledge my love and devotion to you, so help me God. I pledge my love and devotion to you as my husband, so help me God. That's it.
Yeah.
God's presence was here.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I can't be teaching these things and go do it like what everybody else is doing.
That's right. That's right.
So I send them forth with hope.
Amen. Lord.
Because I know that the hand of God. Yeah.
Can we bless our parents too?
Yeah. We can bless. When you say bless, what do you mean?
Like we said, they pass the blessing down to us. Can we keep blessing over them like they do, like what they want to see, and we in turn turn around and
No, you can talk to him. You understand? You can talk to him. Unless, they just say, Daddy, I want to bless you. And it's okay, go ahead and speak blessing or pray over me. If they're not born again or they're not whatever, or they're sick and you want to pray over them, and all of that is fine. But you want to speak blessing. You see, blessing is you got to stand, if right now, look at PJ. If I say, PJ, bless me, he can't. But I can. So I'm talking about position. I'm talking about height. I'm talking about position, inherently, spiritually as well. So now he came out of my loins.
Right.
You understand? And so as he came out of my loins, the office that I occupy is higher than him. Because everything that choice that I made, thing that I did is what is shaping and influencing his life. And so if he wants to bless me. The only way children really bless our parents is that when I see PJ honoring role, honoring student, doing so many things, as a parent, it's like, that's my boy, that's my son. There's a joy, or a mother sees, his children, his daughters just thrive and prosper. That becomes more of a joy, to parents than actually literally wanting to bless them. But you can, bless. But it's really, if they're in a situation where they just want you to pray for them or to bless them. But if you really want to bless them, talk to the one who hired them. They said, God, I want to thank you. God has given me a great mother, a great father. Lord, I know they're not perfect, but I know they are hard for me. And so, Father, I ask, oh God, Lord, may you bless them. You're talking to somebody who's higher to release a blessing upon them. And then you can also, if you also want to bless them, you just say, Lord, I don't want to bring shame to them. And so, Lord, help me. That I may bring joy to their heart. Amen. Because when they see me blessed and prosper and everything else, as well. One time I called, Georgia here, and I prayed that Father's blessing upon her. But I did it because her mother was here, and I wanted her mom to be here as well. And so Mom and we prayed a blessing upon her. Now, as we're releasing the blessing upon her, I said, Mom, everything is on your heart. Come and see. You'll see everything. She wishes she can just, like I said, flip everything on for her, because it's going to be a joy to see her shine, to see her prosper. And so the really reward, the Bible says, children are inherited from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Reward for who? Reward for the parents. So the fruit that came out of my womb has become a reward to me. We go for graduation, and you see your son, being inducted into an honor roll. Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy. Oh, that's my girl. That's my princess. That and all of that. And so you begin to realize that the pride that we have, even PJ, when the first time PJ said hallelujah, we're like, oh my God, it's hallelujah. So, and he's wondering what's going on with his voice. As well. He didn't care. But just the little hallelujah instead of saying was like a joy, to us. As well. Or little things. So we begin to realize that the same thing applies to the Father. Little things like that makes the Father heart glad.
Just to add to that, the dynamics of my life changed when you and my mom spoke that blessing. Things started to shift and things started to change, really change spiritually. I just that.
You see, that is the whole point. You see, so now the whole thing is this: that what God has called, like Michelle and I in this ministry, is really to help set people up so they can live. You understand? Because many times people don't know. They don't know, and what you don't know, you're not going to be exempted from that. You're not going to be exempted from that. As well. Now, there was one time I was praying for this couple, and as I was praying for them, I just realized that their prayers was hindered because of what they had harbored in their heart against each other. So, with their prayers were hindered because of what they've harbored in their heart against each other. That's way back in Massachusetts. And I began to realize that because of what they've harbored in their heart against each other, so what they're praying to God for was not happening. And so what happened was that is like I one day had a wife talking to some people about the husband. And I said, if that is the way you see him, don't expect anything good to come. And the husband is also talking to somebody else, and the way he's painting a picture about his wife, don't expect anything. So God is saying that you are not seeing him the way I see him. He's not seeing you the way I see you. So then how do I bless that? I don't bless the way you see each other. If you're going to lose the way you see each other, to see each other through my eyes, then I can release my blessing. But if you don't see each other through my eyes, then I can't. Because watch this. All of us are under construction.
Yes.
God is still working on us. So watch this. The moment God brought Michelle into my life, right? God is using me as a tool to help construct Michelle into that image and the likeness of God. I can stop the construction process or I can enhance it. You understand? Because if I come and I look at her and I don't see what God sees in her, what happened is this, that I can stop the construction process. Because what I'm saying, the two are one for what I'm saying, I'm always questioning her, I'm just calling her names, I'm just whatever. And if I keep doing that, what I'm doing is this, that it's like you're stopping, it's like they've dug a hole, they're going to put concrete in there, and then you are putting sand in it. You are putting gravels in it. So God said, okay, wait, I'm waiting whenever you're ready for me to, because I want to finish. Everything is a tool. I always say that. Everything is a tool. We were not created for marriage. Neither was marriage created. The marriage was created for us, but we were not created for marriage. We were not created, So there are things that I want us to really understand, that these are all tools. At the end of it all, look, a couple, a husband just died this morning, and the husband just died this morning. They thought they were going to live together forever and ever and ever but the wife just died, or husband just died this morning. But life still goes on. They will cry. There's a story that whoever say, like, this wife was crying because the husband died. And they dug the grave and then they put a casket in there. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. Crying. I don't know what I'm going to do without you. And all of a sudden they said, okay, now let him put it. He said, no.
I wait.
I changed my mind. I have so much to live for.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So the point is this. Do you know the Bible says that? Do you know the Bible says that everything that has a need is God? God created everything with a need.
Yes.
Every creature has a need. Needs to bow to Him. And the main thing is this: the end. Bible says that when we see Him, we'll be like Him. When I'm going home to heaven, not scared of dying or not. No, I can't wait to go home from whence I came. I can't wait to be with Daddy. I can't wait to just now have a fresh hand and begin to ask Him, what were you thinking about this? How do you? I want to, and stuff like that. Jesus said, I long for those who are waiting for my appearance.
Yeah.
So this world, oh my God, I remember when I was growing up, my brothers and I, oh my God, by the time we're 20, I'll have this. By the time we're this, I'll have that. By the time this, I'll build this. By the time this, I'll build that. Right. And I look back and I'm like,
what happened?
So then what do? I have to go redefine what life is all about.
Yes.
So this week, the last week, actually this week, God took me on a journey. And the journey is what I'm going to share in my mind. When I say God took me on a journey, your mind is a gateway into the realm of the spirit.
Yes.
You got to know that your mind can take you far, or your mind can hinder you as well. And so God took me on a journey, and the journey, you know what it showed me? It showed me so many lives that He has used me to touch. He showed me so many situations that have transformed. He showed me all of that. He said, son, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. That is life. That's what he was telling me. That is life. So don't measure life by the big building that we build, and the amount of crowd that we see, and the amount of all the amount of crowd that we see, and the big mansion that we go, and all of that, and the cars that we drive. And look at us now. How much happened in my account? Somebody with all of that just died. Anthony Bono, whatever his name is, he just died. He has millions with a contract show going on. He just killed himself. So if those things, I mean, Steve Jobs died. Robin Williams died. All those people and stuff like that, with all the millions that they have in their account, now Steve Jobs, no amount of billions could buy a pancreatic cancer or whatever, can fix anything. Died. And so we see all these things and all these people, and to us, we sit down, and the only way that we think of meaning to life is having all these things and being able to have all of that. And never think of the impact that I make in the life of somebody. Because, watch this. Business the house, right? A big, huge, 10,000 square foot house with horses and the barn and everything that I hope for, right? This is the latest 2020 Tesla and all of that, right? Okay. This is, the bank account that I have with all the millions that is in there. So I've arrived. Look at me, look at me, look at me, I have arrived. Right? Now, after having had all of that, guess what? I wake up, or I go to bed, and I'll wake up again. Right? I go to bed, and then wake up again. The Tesla meant nothing to me.
That's right.
The big house that I bought meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
The bank account, the bank is going to use that, meant nothing to me. Everything that I worked for would mean nothing to me. The very day, watch this. I always use that. Now watch this. Now, your spirit, soul, live in the body. Okay, let's put this on as the body. So you have spirit, soul, body. Okay. So now watch this. Because in the spirit and the soul are intertwined. So what happens is that the day that you and I leave this earth, remember I talk about the huge bank account, the huge house, the huge career, money, everything that I've got. Everyone looks at, man, look at Perry. Man, look at all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. But let me say something to you. The day that I go lay down and I close my eyes and I don't wake up, the spirit that is in you and I will return back to the Father. You don't own your spirit. It was borrowed. God lent it to you. The only reason why He sent His spirit to live in that spirit to live in you, a human spirit, so you can live here on earth. That's the only reason why. So the day that you and I die, watch this. This one goes back to the owner. This body will go back to the dirt from where it came. We left with this person, the soul. Now watch this. The soul, while the soul was living, the soul had a deficit. There was something that the soul was lacking and wanted. And the soul thought that if I can only have that bank account, the $1 million, I'm going to be fine. I had it. It put a smile on my face. But it did nothing to me the day I died. If I can have that bigger house and all of that, I'm going to be all right. I have it. But the day I died, that house meant nothing to me. The car, all of that, nothing. I'm not taking any of these things with me. The moment the soul, the spirit leaves and the body goes, the memory. Do you know the first thing that comes? You are going to see the faces of all the people you saw. You can either live with your memory or, because when you leave, let me say something, your memory is amplified 1,000 times. Now, because we live in the body, we're restricted, we can force and think of what we want to, but I kid you not, the very day you leave this body and the spirit leaves, your memory, your imagination is amplified 1,000 times, like a huge giant screen. So if you live for God, it's like, my God Almighty. But if you didn't, and so all the people, so now the thing is this, when God sent me everywhere, ever since I set foot in America, God said, I work for you to do in America. When I came to America, it's like right from the beginning, all the souls, the people that I encountered on my journey, did I leave a fingerprint of something good? If they can sit and think about me and say, God, I thank you for Perry. I thank you for. So what happened is that I'm leaving. And so the very day that I die, as I think, because I did all that I did to please him, you know, I will not just see faces, but I'll see his face. He himself would come and say, you touched Maxine and you loved her because of me. You touched Stephen and you loved him because of me. Everything that you did was because of. So the day that I die, Jesus is right there. Son, come. I receive you because all these lives you touched because of me. And do you know, let me say something. There are two things that I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate, three things I'll say, but in the order of priority. The first thing that I'm passionate about, I'm careful about, is her, my spouse. Because she could have pursued something, done her own thing. But God said, no, I have a plan for you. Watch this. And I've connected you to him so that my purposes will be accomplished. And if you stick with him as he pursues my will, you will discover my will, and together you're going to fulfill. You understand? And so now God is counting on me the way I treat her, the way I behave, the way what I do with that. God is counting on her the way she treats me, the way she honors me, because God is the one that put us together with a purpose in mind. It is not my purpose. It is not her purpose. It is his purpose that will make our own. So I've got to honor her. I've got to respect her. I've got to love her. I've got to adorn her and all of that. She's got to honor me. She's got to respect me, because realize that if God gives me something, then nothing is good. God doesn't give me junk.
That's right. That's right.
God never gives junk. He gives the best. But if you see the junk in the other person, then that means that you're looking at what the devil is saying, not what God is saying. If you ask God, God, show me something in that person, you're going to see something that's contrary to what is there. And then you find a flame. Because remember, I said in the beginning, we are all under construction. God is a building. We're not perfect yet. We are on that road to construction. And so the second is this piece of clay. If I'm going behind my wife's back to sleep with another woman, oh my God, I'm going to open a door into his life. to ruin and destroy. If I'm going to begin to yield to something other than what God has put, I'm going to ruin him. My choices, my decisions would affect him and her and them. Because we are where we are because of the choice of our parents. What our parents chose and what they did is what we ended up where we are. So if we are also going to repeat the same mistakes and do the same thing that they did, guess what? We can love our children all we want, but they're going to inherit the same thing that we inherited. We've got to change something. We can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It's not going to work that way. In my home, PJ comes and runs, and the girls run and sit on my lap, and they would just, try to play and all of that. They can tell me when I'm wrong in something. I give them permission to do that. They can tell me certain things and stuff. We have an open conversation. We talk about that. But the way I grew up, you dare not. Who are you? Go tell who what? If stand when we were children, we stand on the chair and then we jump down, right? And then we stand again and then we jump down. And then mom will say, "Stop it!" And then we don't hear. We go back again and we jump down. And next thing you're jumping and then you fall down. Mom will go, "Bow, bow." That's right. Even when you are hurting, they will add to it.
But it worked.
Let me say, no, it wounded our soul. It wounded our soul. There are injuries that you don't see on the body, but the soul, fear, all those things is the soul. Do you know that if I ask all of us here, do you know if I tell you, tell me some of the painful moments in your growing up?
You can tell.
Oh
yeah.
We can talk about it as if it was fresh. It just happened yesterday.
Like yesterday.
I remember.
That's right.
But tell me some of the great things that happened. You would have to think hard. You would have to think hard. And when I remember when I wasn't married at the time, right? And my first time my mom came from Ghana to come and visit. I was a bachelor living in a bachelor's apartment. I had a little studio, 1-bedroom studio. So when mom came, and when I come from work or I come from whatever, I just take my shirt and I just throw it there, and I just whatever. I said, "Oh, mom, one day they said to me, he says, call me my African name." And he just said to me, he said, "You always neat, you always whatever." He said, "Why do you want?" I said, "Listen to me, this is my home, right? This is my home. You can come and tell me what to do in my own home." Does that mean that I don't like cleanness? No. But I rebelled against something that I was forced to do with no questions. Because at times I'll clean and scrub the veranda and scrub the car and scrub and clean and whatever. And my mom will come and inspect and say, "Look at it, you left it." Nobody ever comes to say, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate you've been cleaning all day." And the next minute, pop, 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 pop.
But we respected elderlies.
Yeah, there's respect, but respect out of fear. You could never correct anyone. Because an elder one is always right. Right? Lydia, an elder is always right. They have gray hair. They are more wiser than you. They're always right.
Yeah.
You understand? So you can never question. You can never ask any question. You can never know. If they're older than you, what they're saying is right. Even if they're actually crazy, as long as they're older than you. So even with us, if I'm older than my brother, I'm expecting my brother, look, listen to me. I'm older than you, right? But I'm telling you, you got to do that because that's what I saw. Anyone that's older, hey, you are the champion. And so I remember a few years ago, you know, my sister, we had one girl, right? And she was, when I was leaving home, she was little. Now she was getting married. And I've been sitting there for 20-something years now. And she was getting married. And then when they told me that the guy that she was getting married to, I didn't know all the while. I was talking to her and I even had plans for her to go to Geneva. I was making contacts for her to go work in the UN and all of that. And the next minute, so I made sure that my friends in Geneva sent her invitation. She got a visa. She flew to, to Geneva. And so because I lived there, so I was doing connection for her to go work in the UN. And so I ended up getting her, an interview. And the next minute, the lady who was hosting her, Yolanda, said, "Oh no, she's leaving. She's leaving next week." I said, "She's leaving where? Where is she going?" I said, "I'm getting her a job in the whatever." He said, "No, she's leaving. She's going to get married." I said, "Married to who?" I said, "Married to who?" They said, "Oh, the guy." I said, "Is it that same guy who broke her heart and went back and came back again? Is that the same guy that is married to?" No. He's not going to marry. I said, "Look, I'm getting her a job at the UN. She's going to make more money. She's going to be doing this. And afterwards, if she wants to marry, she can go marry." But you see, because I'm an older brother, I took care of her. And yes, she defiled that. She loved me to death, but she defiled that. And she went. And she got married. I was fuming. Later on, God said, "Why are you upset? What is it to do with you?" Next minute I called and I said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Because I think I'm an older one, so I know better. But knowing the guy was God's will for her. Now they're super rich, super wealthy, and they also are both of them in ministry as well. They have a huge ministry. They have a school with 700 or 800 students now. I mean, doing awesome. But I didn't know that. But I was coming from the standpoint of an older brother who knew better. And I had a plan at the UN. And I'm going to help her to get a job at the UN and all of that. I mean, as well. But the point I'm making here is that these things, they wound our soul. They wound our soul. Right? They wound our soul as well. God took us a whole different route. Now, tonight, what's the time?
Behind you.
Yeah?
It's behind you. It's 8:30.
8:30, okay. Yeah. Now, tonight, what I really wanted to talk about, I mean, said all of that, is that your mind is the forget about this. The Lord is saying how we treat each other brings joy or grieves his heart. He's saying for me to say this. Watch this. Jesus was wounded, was bruised, was chastised, went through all of that to save you and I. That means God sees each one with the value of Jesus. That if you were the only one alive, Jesus will still die for you. If you want to know your worth, you are worth Jesus. The fact that you're not perfect yet doesn't mean, because when Jesus died, he didn't die for you and saying, I'm dying for you, so I'm waiting for you to be perfect so you can receive what I did. No. He died to bestow upon you what you couldn't do for yourself. So salvation is you accessing something free. So all that you and I did completely is wiped out. Because I couldn't. The pile of sin, even if the person who says that, oh, I'm the most righteous person. I never sinned. I was very careful about what I did. I was a type A person and all of that. I did so many good and all of that. Watch this. Know what I said? You want to know how guilty that person is? Watch this. Whatever they did this. They fed the poor. They did this. They gave. They did all. Everybody's like, oh my God, this person is so great. Look at all that they did. Look at all they did. But without Jesus, watch this. All the good that they did, right? Okay. Body goes back to the earth. Spirit goes back to God. Their soul. Their soul. Okay. They touched the life of gave. They didn't give because remember what I said. I said all that I did it for him. So the day that I die, his face is what I will see, not the face of all the people that I touched. Because I did when I saw Maxine, I didn't see Maxine, I see Jesus and what he wanted to do for her and what I heard. And so I said, Maxine, I'm just going to be there for you. I'm going to pray for you. Anytime you need me, I'm going to be there. You know, no, my love for Maxine, yes, is because of her, but it's more because of the Lord and what God has for her. And so I want to be a part of what God wants to do. You know, God had a plan to bring this beautiful soul into this world. So, you know, I'm going to come. I'm going to be a part of Maxine's life. I'm going to be there when she's hurting. I'm going to be there when she's rejoicing. I'm going to be there when she gets victory. I'm going to be there. And so at every leg of Maxine's journey, anytime Maxine was hurting, she called me. I was there. Anytime Maxine was rejoicing, she called me to testify. And so we can go from the beginning and the journey to get to where she is today as well. And to see the change and the transformation and the things that she has been through, but she's been able to forgive and to let go and to do all of that to allow God. Because God is under construction in her. So I want to be a part of it. So when she hurt, I said, Maxine, I hear, I understand why you're hurting, and I agree with you. But you know what? Because of him, let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. Let's do that. Because of him. Because of him. So because of him, she had to let go. Because of him, she didn't revenge. Because of him, she didn't do this. Even when she misses, God will speak to her, remind her, and say, Lord, I'm sorry. And then she'll repent. God, we're all on a journey. We're all on a journey. We're all on a journey. I mean, as well. And so watch this. Now, what I did, if I did it because, oh, Maxine, I want to bless her, I want to look at all that I did, all the good that I did. Now, when I die, watch this, the Lord is not there because I did it. The Bible says that if you love, remember I talking about love. If you give your body to be burnt by no love, you are nothing. If you give your food to the poor by no love, you are nothing. How can you do all those things and still not have love? Because love is God. God is love. That's right. I've got to do it as unto the Lord. So you did it as unto yourself. So now that I've done all these things, which in our eyes is good, watch this. I'm not going to be judged based on all that I did. Now that my soul has to stand before God to see if my soul is perfect. Not my actions. Oh, she's walking. Oh, God. No. Look at her. You know, oh my God, look at her now. You know, so watch this. You know, watch the soul. Now, the one who did all the righteous things, right? Great. Now, they're gone. When they stand before God, their mind, their imagination, did they think any evil of somebody? Did they have pure thoughts? You can never win. Because this thing takes you all the way back to when you were a child. When you're in school, you stole somebody's food. You lied here. You did this. Because when Jesus comes in, He wipes it all clean. But you didn't allow him to come and wipe it all clean. Now you wanted to start thinking that your deeds and who you are. Yeah. It's not your deeds, but who you are is what's going to be judged. Right. And so then he takes you all the way back to as a child. Oh, I stole that toy and I lied. Oh, you can never.
That's right.
But what the Lord is saying, but tonight I was going to talk about imagination and how imagination causes us to access the things of the Spirit, and how we have to keep our heart and our minds, as well. But the Lord is saying how we treat each other. He said, love one another, be kind to one another, be patient with one another. He says, don't, fan the flame of anything that is not of Him. Sometimes, we take each other for granted, that we don't really see the good or testify of the good. I do that all the time. Like, no matter yesterday, Johnny had a day off yesterday. She flew in and then she had a day off yesterday. And though she had to kind of help me, with the wedding, because she was there doing back and forth, doing all of that, because we only have one car. And so Michelle will have to come and drop me, come and go pick the girls and take all of that. So thank God she was there. She had a day off, and so she finished. But then when we're leaving, I said, brother, thank you so much for everything. He hears it all the time. I don't take it for granted. I don't take every day for granted. Because the day that if God calls me home tomorrow, I make sure that I live to the fullest. If it's somebody, appreciate it. Celebrate each other. Because in the world, there's so much negativity, so much negative. Yeah. And God is expecting us to say, I said before you life and death, curse and blessing, but choose life that you might live. And so let's be on pro-life and not death. Let's not be quick to judge, to sentence, and to sentence people into, no. I say we just gotta be, be a little bit patient, be a little bit, whatever. Yeah.
What you're saying is just, today I was so busy at work, and one of my patients was late. And we give them 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, we cancel the appointment. And so this lady shows up, and she's like 30 minutes late. And they called me, and they were like, do you want to see her? And at first I was like, no. And the Lord said, what difference does it make if she's 30 minutes late? You don't have a patient, go ahead and do her. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do her. But he was just saying, why are you going to make a big deal out of it? Right. Something, don't make a big deal out of it. Just go ahead and do her. So when I told her, I said, just tell her to come on back. And when she came back and she saw me, she's like, oh my God, Joni, thank God you're here. You're in the best sonographer. And we were just praying that you would be the one that, and if I would have behaved in a way, it was just God was saying, don't make a big deal out of it. And then she was like, it was storming. We got caught in the storm and the traffic was so bad. And she said, but thank God you're here. So God was just even using that. And he was saying to me, stop making a big deal if somebody is 5 minutes late. You don't have a patient, so go ahead and do her anyway. So what you were saying, he was just, trying to tell me, be patient with people. Don't be making big deals out of it, because what difference does it make? You got her done anyway. And look how she was praising you.
Exactly.
But so it was just the act of kindness and being patient.
And that is what, the act of kindness become a memorial. Yeah. Anytime we manifest God's nature, God's character, heaven rejoices. There's a celebration in heaven, as well. So just watch this. She had no idea that these people are praying. And Lord, we are hoping that she'll be there to handle us. And God has answered the prayer. Yeah. Right? And then now, you're the person that they are hoping that God is going to use. Now, you're like, no. Yes. So now they come there, but you just watch it. Let's look at it, the opposite. They come there, and the next minute they're like, I'm sorry, 30 minutes late. Oh, so is Johnny here? Yeah, she's here, but she just said 30 minutes late, she can't. It's the same person that they prayed and said, God. And now the same person is. So Johnny said, oh. So she's not really for real then. She's not, you understand. And so the point is that let your light so shine before men that they will see and glorify your Father in heaven. The way we relate one to another. And I hear the Lord saying, take off the mask. I don't know, tonight this daughters are having a conversation because I can get into it. He said, take off the mask.
Yeah.
Let them see your heart. Let them people see your heart. Take off the mask. Because I can easily hide behind the mask. And then people are saying one thing, but I'm saying something else. But take off the mask. Let people see you, Bible, let your life, let the yes be yes and no be no.
Yeah.
So let's take off the mask. I mean, as well. And let me just add this piece to it. That, look, don't own the thoughts that come to your mind. Let me explain that. Now, we live in the realm of the spirit and the realm of the natural. You understand? We live in the realm of the spirit and the realm of the natural. Okay? Now, what it is this. You are a host. You understand? For the Spirit of God or for the demonic.
That's right.
The only way that the demonic can operate here on earth is if you have this body, you're going to allow them, their thoughts, whatever they put in your mind, you're going to own it and you're going to do it. So you are easily doing their will. You understand? So you are a host. So now, every time we have these two train of thoughts that come to us, the first one that always will come to you is to call for a reaction. Like what Johnny was saying, that the moment we lived, the first thing that came was a reaction. Many times, reactions that come out of us is because of the wounds that we sustain in our soul. The way we've been hurt, we've been abused, we've been not been heard, people are taking advantage of us, different things and all of that. And so then, why was that thing going to be more personal to me? What is that going to take out from me? What is it going to add to me? And all of that, you understand? But God wanted that soul to be aligned. So watch this. Many times we are hard on ourselves because of the negative thoughts that came into your mind. No. Aren't your eyes open? Can't you see everything that is there? I can equally see. If I see somebody doing something evil there, my eyes are open, I can see. But I can either focus on that or I can turn my eyes away from that. I have the choice to do that. When thoughts come into your mind about him, about her, I can either own it or reject it. You understand? Don't be hard on yourself because I can't believe this thought even just came to my mind. I can't believe I was thinking that. I can't believe I was thinking that. No. Because watch this. When the devil was deceiving Adam and Eve, right? Look at the way he put it. He said, come on, did God say? You understand? And then he said, oh, yeah, God said this, that, he said this, that. You're not surely going to die. How can he die and not really die? How can he be half dead? You're not surely going to die. Oh my God. He doesn't want you to be wise. There's wisdom in there too. Your eyes are going to open, you're going to see some things that are cool. So it was what? Why didn't the devil say, watch it? The devil didn't say, take it, eat it. He had to coerce. So we can own it.
That's right.
That's the point. So now when the devil is bringing thoughts to your mind, he's not bringing thoughts. Because you don't see him as the devil coming and say, Maxine, I want you to think about this or think about that. Because he knows that you don't want him. He's not going to do that. The same way that he did in the garden, that's the same way he's going to do it. How is he going to do it? It's like, nice day. He will start describing your environment. Things that he knows you've been thinking about that is around you. He'll bring those suggestions. So you realize that, oh, I'm thinking about some activities that really happen around me. Because he knows what happened around you. The things that probably, cause you to either be happy or to be sad or, to be angry or whatever. He starts bringing those conversations. And it feels like you are the one thinking it. The devil will not come and tell you. He will come so that you can think that you are the one thinking it, so you can own it. So then you are going to say to yourself that I can't believe I was thinking about this. I can't believe, oh my God. So as if I'm beyond help. That's a lie. So when thoughts come, which they would come, when the Lord comes and he's telling you, watch this, God will never come and deceitfully suggest some things to you. God will come and instruct you what to do. You understand? The Lord will come to Maxine. I want you to forgive. Remember this. I'll help you. I'll whatever. Because he wants to be a part of your life. Not to come and impose on you, but to be there to help you. The devil comes in to want to suggest in a way as if you are the one thinking.
That's right.
So you are guilty, you own it.
Wow.
But God will come and suggest to you. If you resist him, God will just back off. But if you yield to him, he will come in. But the devil will come for you to believe that he's not even there when he's really there. And he suggests it the way that you are the one thinking it, so you are guilty for even thinking it. So why don't you do it anyways? You're already guilty anyways, why don't you do it? You understand? But that's a lie. That's a lie. You live in the two realms. So the chances of you picking up negative thoughts, they are as real as picking up positive thoughts. But the thing is this, you are the one that will choose. Yesterday, Johnny, Michelle, and myself, we're at home, we're about to leave the house. I got dressed, I came down, and I said to each one, I said, right now, let's ask God to reveal something to us. Show us anything. Because I like doing that in this short moment. I said, let's ask God to show us anything. You see, because what's this? A week ago, right? I woke up and I was not feeling too well, and I was feeling a little bit, and all of a sudden, I was allowing those feelings to take over my attitude and everything. And then, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I was sitting down by the computer, and I said to God, God, this is the way I feel. But I want to know what you're seeing or what you think. That doesn't align with the way I feel. He said, look, when I looked, he showed me a vision. And the vision he showed me was completely opposite to the way I felt and what I was thinking. So the devil, knowing that this is really all that God has done spiritually for me, starts bringing certain things to start changing, shifting my mind away completely from that. But I had to, on purpose, go to God and say, God, show me. Or when you read the Bible paints a picture, for you. Or you listen to that song, and then that song, you start humming that song. Look at the lyrics of the song. It's telling you something. All those things is a window for you to get in and to see something that is different from the reality of what you're experiencing around you. So I had to press in. And so the moment I just said to Michelle and Johnny, I said, let's just ask the Father to show us something about ourselves, something about any one of us there, and something about this ministry. Next week, we all saw things. We all heard things. And then afterwards, we realized, oh my God, what God was sharing a whole lot. Next week, this morning, Michelle just came and woke me up and was still in a dream that she had. I'm like, oh my God, great, awesome, and all of that. And so you begin to realize that God, he wants his reality to be your reality every day. But the gateway to that is your mind. The gateway to that is your mind. And let me add this. You are not guilty because the thought entered your mind. You are guilty when you feed on it. You understand? You are not guilty because the thought entered your mind, but you are guilty when you feed on it. If you're traveling and you turn the dial, you pick up all the different radio stations. Wherever you go, you will be listening to one, and when you go, to a place where the frequency is so weak, you can hardly pick it up again, and then another station will come on. So you turn, and you pick up so many stations until you leave the dial on the station that you want to listen to.
Yeah.
It's the same. Sometimes you turn, rock. Say, I don't listen to rock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this jazz. Christian. Okay, I'll leave it there. So you are the one. You're picking up. When you turn to the jazz, didn't you hear jazz playing?
Mm-hmm.
When you turn to the rock, didn't you hear hard metal rock playing? Yeah. You heard it. Does that mean that, oh my God, I'm guilty because I heard that? No. Wow. But the station that you stopped at and you chose to listen to is what you own.
Yeah.
It's the same. Mm-hmm. We've got to guard this. Next week I'll get more into that. Mm-hmm. We've got to guard this. Mm-hmm. Because this will take you where God is taking you. Mm-hmm. Mind. Mm-hmm. The mind will take you where God is taking you. Mm-hmm. Now I ask this. If I tell you to write down the thoughts of your life, the future that you see for yourself, it's going to be hard for most of us to write it down. Because we still carry more negative than positive. Right. And we're not surrounding that easily. We lie to ourselves and say, well, I'm not living that. But if you're not living it, then you're keeping it. Mm-hmm. So then, if you can't see where God is taking you, how can you have it? How can you go? Mm-hmm. Bible said Jesus, for the joy that was set before him. And so the thing is that you've got to see where God is taking you. You got to see your future. You got to see what God is doing with you. You got to see that. And if you see that, Bible says lay aside every weight. So lay aside a weight. Those are weights of some thoughts and memories and things that are painful, that are hurtful, that are not. Some of the painful memories that I have, right? One day God came in and I woke up in the morning. I was in someone last month or two. The Lord came in. The Father himself, he came in and he took me on a journey. And I was walking around, but I was in the God zone with him. That's what about the mind. And I'll talk a lot about that, more. And I was in the God zone and I was communing with him the whole time. And you know what he did? He took me all the way back to when I was a child. And he highlighted to me all those painful moments. And he brought it back. And when he brought it back, he said, you remember when this thing happened to you? Somehow I've been forgotten, but it's still there in my memory. Mm-hmm. He said, you remember this thing happened to you? I was there, and this is what happened. Remember when that happened to you? I allowed this to happen because of what I wanted to do with you. Remember when this? So he began to take me on that journey in my life. Whilst he was doing that, he had done something similar with Michelle the night before, which I didn't know. So she was having an encounter with the Lord the night before, which he didn't tell me. And then I went to sleep and I woke up around 4 and I started having my distance with him. And then that led me into taking me through all those. And then I began to realize that, oh my God, so all this, so God was there. So this, oh my God, so this happened because of this. So it's like understanding comes. So those things, they become no painful things no more. I look at it and I say, I thank God because God shielded me from all of that because of what. And so then guess what? After having done all of that, it brought me to that. I said, God, if you take the pains to come, when I was a baby, when I was this, when I was that, to protect, to guide, to direct, to shut some doors, to make sure even when I went through painful times, all of that, to bring me to this. Is that all there is to it? Oh, there is more. Because all he was doing was not to talk about the past, but to give me the hope for the future. He wanted to birth the hope for the future, but you cannot birth the hope for the future if you don't deal with the past. it's hard to see the future if the past is not dealt with.
That's right. That's right.
Because the past makes us filter everything through that. Amen. You know, don't we all say, Scripture, if any man be in Christ Jesus is a new creation, the old is gone, the new has come?
Yeah.
We all confess that, right?
Mhm.
But you do feel new or you feel old? You still feel
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You see, oh yeah, we do. We confess that it's like you know, more denial conversion. You're confessing, you know. It's just like, I mean, just confessing and just saying that, you know, I mean, and so I like that, you know, in the churches that we all go to, the man or woman of God comes and says, I'm going to prophesy over you. Just receive it, receive it. You shall be millions by tomorrow. Yes, I receive it, Jesus' name. I receive it, Jesus' name. You've been receiving for the last 2, 3, 4 years, and nothing has happened. You still receiving, nothing has happened. You know, and all of that. You know, hey, I place a demand on your pocketbook. I place a demand on your pocketbook, and I say tomorrow by this time, God is going to whatever. Just, you know, try. And then we do all these things and nothing is happening. Do you know why? You know, because we think the reality is the physical, not the spiritual. We live in two realms. We live in two realms. We live in two realms. And we have no clue, no concept, or very limited knowledge about the realm of the spirit. So everybody can easily come and be deceived, and then stir up our emotions. Sometimes the person will come and they know the message, something to share in 5-10 minutes to get the people's emotions all on that. And then this now is just like, you want to hear more? You want to hear more? You want to know what God? Nah, I don't think your guys are ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right now, the Lord is telling me,
Wow.
I need 10 people to give $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting down, God has been speaking to you, and you know it's God, but you're still sitting there, but you know it's God is telling you that. Don't resist, get up. There's somebody, you're saying that, God, that's all I have, my money, but I say, trust me, God is saying, bring it, and I'm going to show you something. God, it's all mind game. It's all mind game. So the person, so now, watch this. Let me give you guys this thing. If your church, they do that, right? Start recording all the time that a person came and did that, and you responded to, and see if what they said has come to pass. The next time they come, say, can I have a word with you? But if you say you want a word with them, they're not going to give the time. But take money.
Oh yeah.
Hold like about $1,000 or $500, and just make sure the money is visible. So you have the money like
Yeah.
you know.
So they can say yes.
Yeah. You hold the money. You know, like that. Oh, excuse me. Can I have last year when he came, you said. The following time when he came, I really wanted to, but these ones haven't come.
They're gonna say, try it one more time. Yeah, one more.
One of the times I just wanted to come to back, explain to me if this one's because
they're gonna put it back on the person you didn't
you didn't have faith. You didn't have faith. You didn't want to. You see, when you put a seed to the ground, you want to dig it back out. That is, but didn't you spend it? If I drag it back out, you spent it. Why did you give it back to me? And so I drag it back out. Man, you know. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh. Man, you are more than that. That is why I kid it not. Sometimes I cry. I cry, not because of what they do. No. I cry because I say, God, how are we ever going to get it right? Not because of what they're doing, but I see what God has for Stephen, what God has for Amy, what God has for Maxine, what God. Sometimes I see glimpses of it and I say, God, I wish it's just a switch I can flip it on for them, but you have to go through the process. God is perfecting something, so you can take ownership of that. And sometimes it's like, there's so much I want to do, so much, you just, and sometimes it's kind of frustrating. And it's not frustrating because it's not in my power to do that, but it's like God is just showing me what He wants to do. And I go back and I say, God, I'm all yours. I'm all yours, whatever you want to do with me. I know I'm limited, but I know you are limitless. I know you can do far more than that. I kid you not, almost every day I cry out to God about my wife and about my children. I say to God, God, you have trusted me to entrust this woman to me. You have trusted me to entrust this woman to me. Lord, I can't fail you. I need your help. I need your grace. I need your wisdom. As well. Because see, you don't take life for granted. Each and every one, Jesus died for them. Each one is vulnerable. He died for them. Whatever Trump is doing, Trump will pay for it. What do? You pay for it. Let people do whatever they want to do. Everybody has a will to do whatever they want to do. Don't let what somebody is doing cause you to do something. You've got 2 rooms to make it right. Let them do. You make your obedience complete. When God says love, love. When God says this, because I kid you not. I said that all the time, and I say it again. When I got married to her, God said to me clearly, I'm looking at my prophetic, God came to me clearly. He said to me, your job is to love her. When he said that to me, I thought I had a piece of cake, because I already love her, because my emotions are all over and all of that, so I already love her. And so at the time when God said, oh yes, Lord, Lord, I love him, I love her, and I'm going to, But at times we go into an intense moment of fellowship. And those times we go into those, in the beginning days. Now let me say this. Let me say, can you ever get to the point of conflict-free marriage? Yes. Yeah. I didn't say, do you have? I said, can you get to? Yeah. If you want it, you would. That's right. That's the whole point. If you want it, you would. Can you ever get to a conflict-free marriage? Yes. And to the glory of God, I don't know the last time Michelle and I just went arguing. I don't know the last time we went arguing about whatever. Now, I'm not saying that because of us, because this is what we do. The thing is this: I have a goal. She has a goal. Our goal is God is the one that put us together. He has a purpose. We've got to honor God by honoring each other. Number 2, I begin to realize that, look, I'm here to serve her. She's there to serve me. We're there to serve each other. I'm not waiting to have a scorecard that said, yesterday I served you, you didn't serve me back. So you know. So you owe me the arrears. The arrears of whatever. Tit for tat. No. And I can equally say, okay, look, I'm the one, I've been doing one-on-ones, I'm tired, and I come home, and I'm expecting, her to whatever, and stuff like that. But after I go home, and I get home, there's one thing, talk about love. Yeah, one thing, I go home, I think about her, but then when I think about her, PJ pulling on her, the girls pulling on her, this pulling on her, that pulling on her. And so I get home, and then probably the kitchen is messed up, and then PJ wants to sleep. So now she takes PJ up and tries to kind of put him to sleep, and then want to come down and come and clean the kitchen and all of that. I don't have to wait for her. I go out and I clean it. You know what? How tired I am. I clean it. And when I clean it, the reward that I want. The reward that I want is that I don't tell her that I cleaned it. So I want her to kind of get up and say, oh my God, I gotta go clean and get this. Oh, it's clean. And then when she sees me in the morning, or when she sees me, she's like, oh, but you know what? She knows I will do it. So it's like, Not should I take for granted? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But it's like she knows. So I come in the morning, I'm like,
I'm ready.
I said, man, look at this place. Man. So honey, you see nothing? You did? You know, because the thing is, it's not she saying thank you to me. That reminded us. But it's just saying that, oh my God. Because all I wanted was that to relieve her mind. All that I gotta do this, do that, do it. Because she needs time for herself. You know, she needs time for herself as well. And so that's what I'm saying, that let's cut each other slack. Great. God, excellent. We all want to go, we've all sinned. And we still keep repenting. God say, forgive us, God forgive us, and we God keep forgiving us. Why aren't you forgiving each other? Let's forgive each other. Let's grace, a little grace here, a little grace here. Because we know that we all know perfect. And God is still working on all of us. You know, but love will always rule, and God will always prevail. Amen. Amen. Love will rule, love will prevail. Amen. So today was just a conversation. Good conversation.
Good conversation. A conversation of love.
You know, so everything that I, you know, he knew what I spent a whole time putting all this together about soaking and all these things, but you know, you know, but I'll email the soaking thing that I put together. I'll email it to you guys so you can have it, and I put on some steps how to do the soaking and different things like that. And then there are soaking music too. You can just go and Google soaking music. The soaking is SOAKING, soaking music, and you can buy one, or you don't even have to buy. You go on YouTube, put soaking, and then you can pull out. You can put on your phone, and then you can just use that. But the point is this: for me, what soaking, right? Soaking is one of the steps to living and abiding.
So now we have to soak everything we heard here tonight. It's what you see.
No. I'm talking about the soaking. I'm talking about practicing the presence. Last I said practicing the presence. You understand? Now, I don't want that. I told you, I said everything in God is progressive. Progressive. You understand? I did soaking for a while. I did soaking. Sometimes once a while, I can just put a music and just start reliving and listening and relax myself and all of that. But I don't do that often. You understand? Because you develop, I would say, through their natural, they have trained their senses to discern. So you grow. So you can train your senses to come to a point. Right now, if I just tell somebody, each one here, I'll just say, just sit here quietly and focus on God. You will struggle with it. Why? So many thoughts. You forgot to turn this thing off. You forget to this thing. Oh, you remember you said you're going to cook this thing. Remember tomorrow you have to, you haven't ironed your clothes. You have to, all those thoughts are going to come.
That's right.
You understand? So what happened is this. You have all these thoughts that's racing. And so you are never ever still. And that causes you to lose or to miss out on God in so many areas. There are other aspects of God that you have to be still. Do you know that? Look, let me say something. This is a conversation here. Any time in the Bible, Jesus came to a situation, the first thing that he did was he calmed things down. First.
Right.
In the boat, when he woke up, he said, guys, what is going on with you? You didn't guys say, oh my God, I can't believe that. Man, you guys, you know, he's in a panic. He's like, guys, what's going on with you? Please be still. And then he spoke to them. When he went to go raise the daughter of the Jairus' daughter who was dead, they were mourning, crying and wailing. When he got there, he said, get out. He got her out. Every time Jesus came to a situation, he stabilized the situation first before he acted on something. Until you are stable from so much running in your mind, you miss out on so much of God. So you got to train yourself. Look, meditation is not for the new age.
No.
Meditation is not for Buddhists.
No.
Learn to meditate.
Yeah.
Learn to meditate. And meditation, what I'm talking about is that I'm not talking about that's what I'm talking about. That's not meditation. They're just chanting something. But what I'm talking about is meditation is that, Bible says, be still and know that I am God. Sometimes just begin to declare stuff on your mind. Even if right now we just say, oh, let's worship the Lord. We still have so many things on our mind.
Yeah.
Lord, we thank you. Lord, we worship you. Lord, you're a liar. Look how that's in mind. And stuff like that. So when I'm worshiping, when I'm going to worship, right? Look, worship is just like a couple making love. You don't just rush and just, you take your time and you let the pleasure linger. You focus on that. You plan. So that is just having a moment with God. Yeah. And so the thing is this, there's something about God. If I'm going to worship the Lord, like if I'm in church, for instance, I disconnect from the song. I disconnect from the people leading on the stage. I disconnect from everybody. Either one song that was being sung, one word, one phrase, one sentence in that song woke me up. And then I focus on that song and I close my eyes. But when I close my eyes are open. My spiritual eyes are open. I say, Lord, you are. But I'm all yours. I don't care the song that they are singing. That doesn't distract me. As I'm saying that you got to practice. You got to practice. You got to practice. Because watch this. We go to church. Okay, there's something. Okay, shall we all be on our feet? Whatever. Lord, we worship you. Lord, we worship you. And then we're done. Okay, move next. Like a robot.
Yeah.
That's right. No. Now, if you're married, I'll give an assignment. If you're not married, listen, if you're not married, I still give you an assignment. Okay? Watch this. Watch this. If you're married, I know last week I gave an assignment, but because I didn't get into whatever, so I didn't answer. I said, watch this. If you're married, I'm giving an assignment. If you're not married, I'm still giving the same assignment.
Pick that.
Okay. Now, if you're married, the assignment, you're going to do it with your spouse.
Oh, Lord.
If you are not married, the assignment, you're going to do it with God.
Okay.
And you're going to do it with God. I don't want you to just, the assignment I'm giving is this. Like, the assignment is this. I want you to write 10 things. I want you to write 10 things that you see in the other person that is positive. Something that is worth appreciating, something that is worth celebrating, something that you are thankful to God for. Write 10 things. So if you're not married, write 10 things you've experienced about God. You understand? You follow? Yeah. If you're not married, you're married to God. That maker is a husband. That's what the Bible says, right? Yeah. So you write down 10 things that you think that you've experienced in God. You understand? And what you do is this: if you're not married, put a seat right there, and then you sit right across from it, and then just invite the Lord. Sit, and you talk to Him. Tell Him all those things that you see, all the 10 things. You understand? When you tell Him all the 10 things that you see, say, Lord, I just experienced, your love in this area. But when you're watching, look, when you're watching, if I'm sitting Bible says, you know, get understanding. That's why I try to demonstrate a lot, so you got to understand. So, okay, and then I'm talking to the Lord, and I have 10 things that I've written here, you know, to the Lord. You understand? You can either sit or you can kneel, whichever way, it's up to you, how you want to relate. And when you look at this, don't let your eyes go. Focus on one spot and keep looking at one spot. You understand? No, oh Lord, you are so, Lord, you are looking right here. Focus. You understand? When I'm going to begin, so watch this. I'm not married. I'm going to begin. I say, Father, I just welcome you right now. You are my Father. And Lord, I welcome you to take your place. Lord, so that we can commune with you in Jesus' name. Amen. Faith. So you know that the Father is right there. You understand? Even if you're married and you want to do this at some point in time, you can also do that as well. But then you say, Father, I just want to thank you, God, for your faithfulness. Lord, I remember when I went through this, Lord, you were faithful. Thank you so much for your faithfulness. And Lord, I just want to thank you so much for your love. Lord, I went through this and that, and I felt love. Lord, you were wrong with your love. Lord, I want to thank you for your provision, oh God. And Lord, I didn't know who was going to get married to, where I was going to go, but Lord, you brought somebody into my life, and I want to say thank you so much. Lord, I just want to thank you. So you beginning, just focus. When you're done, remember I said, you tell the Lord the 10 things, and when you're done, just worship him for that. And then afterwards, just say, Lord, how do you see me? And let God speak to you as well. He will talk back to you. Write down the things I tell you. You understand? When you write down the things that he tells you, remember, everything in God is progressive. Everything in God is to be built upon. I would like to connect with you and take those things that God said to you and what you said to him and help you build on that. Because it's an invitation to something deeper in God. You want him to tell you what he sees in yourself. I mean, as well. But whether you sit or you're going to kneel, it is up to you. I mean, if for me, I might kneel, but I just want to kind of keep your focus on him and then just tell him whatever, and then praise him and worship him. And after the 10 things, and afterwards just do that. Now, okay, you know, on the flip side, right now, if now I am going to tell Michelle, honey, come and sit right here. I want to demonstrate that. You know? She's not going anywhere. She's here. You know? So if I'm gonna say, do it to Michelle. Now, you are going to look at a person in the eye to speak into their soul. The eye is a gate into the soul. They always say that. You're going to look. No, honey, I see, Michelle, I see this about you. I see you. No, you want to engage the person. You understand? Sometimes I do that, like with my children. When I realize that there's something that I want to get to them, I hold them, I say, look at me, and I look into their eyes and I speak life into them. Because so much has happened, they're moving, they're whatever, and I steal them. I say, look at me, look at me, look at me. I say, you are great, you hear me? You are great, you're going to do great things. I love you, you're okay, everything's going to be fine. And I keep looking, and I'm looking, and I'm piercing into their soul, I'm speaking life into them. Because the only time that they are quiet, or we are, the only time they are quiet is when we're sleeping. Even when we're sleeping, we're moving. You know, tell the other person to film you when you sleep. You'll be shocked. You were moving, you were all over, you still were not quiet. Even when the soul, when you need to rest, you still moving. You were moving. I mean, It's like, man, we're like our souls on steroids every time that we can never keep this.
Oh my God, that's funny.
You know? So, oh honey, I didn't
I didn't know we were done.
no, I didn't finish.
Got some more.
So
Oh, you didn't start?
I didn't start. I didn't start. So now, if I'm just going to do that, to her, I'm going to speak. But first of all, I'm going to pray before I speak. And look at what I'll do. I say, Father, I just want to thank you for Michelle. Lord, you have blessed me with this woman as a wife. And Father, Lord, where I've hurt her, where I've not been faithful, or where, oh God, I've hurt her with my words, I ask for your forgiveness. Anything that, Lord, I've said to grieve her or done to grieve her in any way, Lord, I ask for your forgiveness. And Lord, I ask that may you bless this time. May this moment, Lord God, strengthen the bond that we share. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So what I'm doing is this. First of all, I'm repenting. Because I can't just say something that I don't believe in. I'm not just going to say anything that as well. I'm going to say something that I really believe in. You understand? And so where I'm hurting, whatever, I ask God to forgive me. So I can release what is in my heart. So that whatever I'm going to release to her will bless her. You understand? And then you write down the 10 things that you see about her. So then you just take it by the hand and then you look into her eyes and I say, honey, I just want to thank God. You see it's so hard?
Yeah.
You see? No, I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's like when you look into somebody's eyes, there's eye contact for a while. We're not used to that.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know why? Sometimes because of shame.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel ashamed. Not about them, no. Some of the things that we've been through, some shame, some whatever. So it's hard to look into people's eyes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, how many times we look into somebody's eyes and not immediately you just want to take your eyes off or you want to walk, but you got to look into the person's eyes. You look into the person's eyes, lock eyes, and then speak to each other.
Can it be just 3 or 5 things?
Look for 10 things. Because God sees more than you see. So when you look for it, you're going to find it.
Well, the Lord gonna have to help me here. You'll be surprised. I
still want to scripture something and show you those things.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you. Yeah, I need all the help I can get.
Now, sometimes some of the things that, sometimes I'll look at Michelle and I just say, honey, thank you for giving me a son. Even though we both came together, but she had to carry and go through all of that. So I just want to appreciate that. We got to celebrate each other. That's all I'm saying. We got to celebrate each other. We can't be too hard on each other and tear each other down and tear each other apart. No, celebrate each other. Look for things that we can celebrate. Because whatsoever is pure, is lovely, is whatever. You said, think about those things. Meditate on those things. Somebody see somebody looking great. Dressed beautifully. Maka, you look so beautiful. I love your hair. Say something. Appreciate it. It's not you're not saying something because you just were saying something. If something that you appreciate, you just, Amen. Because every day we hear something negative. Even when we don't hear, the devil is reminding us of all the past things that we did and things that we, and all of that to condemn, to judge, and all of that. So we've got to debunk all of that with truth. And the truth will set us free. Amen. Any questions? Any additions?
Do it at your own convenience, but as soon as possible.
Yeah. But then, if you can both agree that, okay, let's do it tomorrow, let's do it whatever, then you can do it together. Or she might say, give me some time, and you might be ready. So you might just tell her, I'm going to be ready today or tomorrow to do that. and then you can do it, and then whenever she's ready, she can do it as well. But we can do it together. It's more powerful that we can do it at the same time together as well. But either way, it's not. It's an act of one's will. You don't want to force anybody into something. You want them to be ready so that whatever they're saying, they really mean it. Not because it's an assignment, so I'm just going to do it for the doing sake. No, I'm just going to, just do that, because I.
You can tell, okay, let's just take a week, and then after a week, meet on Sunday, and then do it. You know what I mean? So that way, both of you can be ready at the same time.
Oh my goodness, you really like it.
Amen. So, any questions? If no questions, then Amy's going to close us in prayer.
Come on, Amy. Come on, Amy. Bring it home. Take it home.
Oh my God, look at
Father God, we thank you so much for this evening. We thank you for the words that come from you to us, to each one of us. You're speaking to our heart, Lord, and we are so thankful for that. We thank you for the little sayings that you speak in each one of our ears, those things that we know deep inside of us. You're speaking to our soul. Thank you. We're so grateful. We love you. We ask blessings upon each and every person here, Father. I know that you're calling each one of us to be closer to you, and we feel it, and we love you, Lord, and we want to be closer. I ask you, you have sent your Son, your only begotten Son, for each one of us to die for each one. I ask you, Father, to please send him in to each one so that he can see his face, so we can see your face. We cannot see you without going through him, Father. So we ask for you to speak to us in our dreams and help us to come closer to you.
Yes.
I feel that you're drawing us like a magnet.
Amen.
And we are attracted to you and we want to be with you. That is our goal. Thank you, Lord, for in Jesus' name.
the Lord is saying that you can't love like He does on your own.
Right.
He said, pray. As he was praying, I heard the Lord say, tell them, ask me to help you love.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
He is love.
Yeah.
And so it's like, Lord, help me to love. Lord, I confess my love deficits. Even loving ourselves, something we can't love ourselves the way we are too hard on ourselves.
Right.
But then it's like, Lord, perfect the love in me. Lord, I want to love you and I want to love the people around me. I want to love my wife, my husband. I want to love the Lord. Love, through me, help me to be able to love. As well. Now, the other thing that the Lord is also saying is this. There's a conversation going on. Now, the other thing the Lord is also saying is this. And that is more to do with more to do. Now, watch this. I began a journey together with Michelle, and I'm saying that in so many areas. You know, it's both for for all of us. But I'm just using Mary as an example. That's what he's using. Okay. Now, I just began a journey. Met Michelle. When I met Michelle, PJ wasn't here. When I met Michelle, we hadn't come here. When I met Michelle, Tehila, Leona, all these were not here. I just met her. I loved her. I wanted to spend time with her and all of that. Okay. Now, out of that union, came him and all of that. Now, when I get very short fused with her, when I get mad at her, and then I see PJ, and I love him, PJ, God is not pleased. Because you know why? Watch this. PJ, the foundation that PJ rests upon is us.
Right.
If I destroy this foundation and I love him, it's of no consequence. It's like using a basket or just poking holes into something. So where I need to invest more of my time is there is a foundation. As long as this foundation is solid, it's going to be okay. You understand? Now, when I say that, I'm saying that in so many areas as well, not only marriage. There are things that God has brought into your life, there are relationships that God has brought into your life as well. So it's not only just marriage I'm talking about. Because many times, you see, the thing is this, we are very hard on people that are closer to us, and we give grace to the stranger. You understand? I mean, there are so many men of God, they cursing their wives and then whatever, shutting them down, and then they go to church and they finish preaching and people are coming and then they're just, oh hi, and then, and then so Maxima is saying, oh my God, the Perry is such a whatever, and his wife is just saying, yeah, right, you don't even know. I mean, just think about that. You understand? And so, no, I'm the biggest hypocrite. I just did something so that she would see me. But behind the mask is ugly. No. But if I am honoring Maxine, and then my wife is there, and she's just saying, Lord, I just thank you for my husband, and thank you for what you're doing with us. She's grateful, she's part of it. And I did my job. Because God gave me to her first. I am a promise to her. She's a promise to me. And then we together are a promise to everybody else. So the point I'm making, I'm not only talking about marriage, but I'm talking about people that God has brought into your life, people that are around you, let's start to celebrate that. Let's not, not invest in those things that are strength to us, that minister to us, and then now you're going to just save people. So there are people that God has brought into our lives. My God, this voice is going to sing, it's going to carry a tune like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you.
Yeah. He said he got one now.
At a very early age, you guys start to get voice training. Get voice training. Just for her, and then also, teach her to play an instrument, at least piano, something. Yeah, I mean as well. And because she will carry a voice like, worship. The room where she sleeps. You know, sometimes you guys gotta leave. You can leave with a little worship music, little, no loud, just something, soft worship, like in the house, like a hymn or some worship, hallelujah, something soft and worship, something plain, every time I just take, because from the age of now to 3 is where we shift them. And from the age of 4, so there's a 10 that age down. Do a whole lot. You want to create an environment around her to kind of stir up what is in her. And then how the other speak into her life. Speak into her life. Speak everything in which we just speak into her life. Have a habit of speaking into her life. It doesn't matter whatever time, it doesn't matter when, morning, night, noon, night, whatever. You're picking her up, whatever, anytime. There's no set time. Every time that you have to just speak, into her life. Well, God is just helping you guys to sort yourselves out. Because there's another one on the way.
Amen.
Would you say Father?
I said, no, he's not, look, let me show something, right? Let me show something. You see, like there's an outlet, okay, and this is where the door is, right? This is where the door is. And so that life has been released into a tube, right? But the tube, it has to travel all the way to where the opening is.
No.
You understand? It has to travel all the way. Let me explain. Okay, I have a pen here. I'm not saying today or tomorrow.
We got the next
Okay, so now look at this. You see the opening is here, right? So take this to be, there's a long tube, okay? So what I'm saying is this, that this is where the opening. So you take something like this thing. So if this is the baby, okay, the baby has entered the tube. Okay? I'm not saying she's pregnant, no, I'm saying spiritually. God has released. So the first one has come, and she's here now. Second one is in, spiritually being released. Okay? Now, God doesn't allow the child to come when, he wants to create some stability. Some things are happening, you guys are doing certain things, but God is going to bring in some stability here and there, aligning things and certain things, as well. But here God said, don't take on too much. A certain burden that is not God. You got to know the burden that is God and the burden that is not God. If you overstretch yourself, you will not be ready to receive. Don't overstretch yourself. That's what I'm God saying. It's not every burden, just that the body always have with you. It's not every burden that is God. Mm-hmm. Some burdens, sometimes man imposes burdens, but you want the burden that God gives. Because anytime God gives a burden, it's easy. There's grace to carry it. But when man imposes a burden, it's hard to carry. Either self-imposed or man-imposed. From that. And so what happens is, I see that a baby has been released right from the beginning, like heaven has downloaded into the spirit. But there's going to be a time that it's going to travel. But the way the baby travels through this tube until it gets conceived and is delivered will depend on how you guys sort yourself out and stabilize and create an environment. You understand? Create an environment. I mean, as well. So once you guys are putting together to create an environment and and all the different things and have a system in place, and it's not because of the baby, but it's just more for you guys coming to a place of health and peace and just create to ease up, take away stress, different things and all of that. So that would really be releasing, we're pushing until the right time that maybe a Stephen Jr. will come or something, but I mean, or something, but what I would say, God wants to say, I see one, I see two. After the two, there's a third one, but watch this. But I see that the third one there's a lot of contingents. Like it's very contingent on, it's more like, I mean, you guys, after the two, it will be of a decision that you guys will have to come to. I'm not, what I'm just saying is this, when you have a one child, when the second one comes and other responsibility, different things, there's more adjustment that needs to be made and all of that to accommodate that, because you guys are parents that you want to be hands-on, you want to make sure that you're giving the best for children and all of that. So God knows that. That's why God is blessing with his children as well. And so but I see three. But I'm saying that after this, simple.
She can go.
Yeah, I was
I did the same thing.
So it's, look, let me say something. Either one and two. And normally the third will come when we're not even planning. It's like, oops. Or, that's what I'm saying, that there's something between the two and then the three. It's nothing negative. You understand? It's nothing negative. But it's like, oh my God, we're not trying the next minute, oh my God, there's a third on the way. Or it's going to be like, okay, we go for the next, whatever it is, it's not negative. It's not negative. It's positive. But I'm just saying that sometimes, others like, for PJ to come, Michelle and I personally go upon and say, okay, God, we're done now. And God said, no, I have one more. That's what I'm saying. It's nothing negative, But what I'm saying is that I see but one, but God is saying, but the reason why the Lord is telling me to share this is that so that you guys don't take on extra load, extra burden, extra pressure. Take off yourself first. Take off yourself. Even in business, you also pay yourself first. Focus. It's not being selfish. Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. We always think it's love to deny ourselves, and take care of everybody. And after we finish that, now we say, God, look at me, whatever, and stuff like that. So build your home, invest into your home, build, whatever, and stuff like that, because God has a plan. And part of it is just to bring his children into the world. Oh, we prayed it. We're just having a conversation.
And I wish to record him.
Oh, you started, right?
No, I didn't stop it.
Oh.
Okay, stop it now.